look who I've got with me. I've got us some visitors today. Let me get over here and see if I can scrunch up the file. Y'all, this is Laquetta, and this is her husband, Jeff Grimes, and they are the owners and inventors, I guess you'd say, of Dixie Dirt. And y'all are saying, goodness, what do you do with Dixie Dirt? Well, Dixie Dirt is great on barbecues. Wasn't too long ago, Jeff, I was talking to them, and I told them that the only thing we do in the South is we have barbecues and fish fries.
That's
so
right.
They're going to show you how to really do a barbecue. Tell them about this.
Well, now these are some baby back ribs that we're going to be preparing, and we will show you the step-by-step process of the way that I've become accustomed to doing them. Not saying that it's the only way. Everybody's got their own way, but this is the way we do it. So,
and y'all, listen, they cater for all over the Wiregrass. I mean, and people love their catering. And they also cook at church on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is the couple that when George was living, we all cooked at the church for how many years?
9 years. 9 years.
Every Wednesday night or one night.
Wednesday night.
One Wednesday night a month. And what was the fun thing about it is this, y'all. We would meet at each other's house and plan our menu. One time they'd come here and eat, we'd plan our menu. The next time, George and I'd go to their house and we would plan our menu and we would eat at their house. Yeah. And that was fun, wasn't it?
It really was. It was fun because it was always, we decided on those nights what we would be preparing. And,
that's right. And what was on sale at the store.
And what was on, we'd bring our sale papers and see what was on sale at the grocery store so that we can decide our menu for that Wednesday night.
And y'all, Laquetta was the first one that I knew that ever made cabbage casserole. And you know you've seen that in the recipe book. It was so good. And she found it somewhere, and we said, we're going to try this, and everybody loved it.
They did. They really did.
All right, so we'll go ahead then, and let's learn how to do this.
All right.
And first of all, I want Laquetta to turn around. I want to show y'all something. They have a slogan. Dixie Dirt. Don't poke it, don't soak it, just rub it. And that's...
And we'll show you what we mean by rubbing it. So.
That's right. And what's your website?
DixieDirtRub.com.
Well, so, remember that.
It's pretty easy.
All you got to remember is Dixie Dirt, and you know to rub it.
Yep, and then you're rubbing it. Then you're rubbing it, or rub your tummy once.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the sink, right?
Okay, yep.
And we're going to show you how to do this, y'all.
Okay, here we go. Now, what we do is we take our baby back ribs, and you can do this with any of the ribs, the St. Louis style, just the regular spare ribs. But I always like to kind of rinse them off a little bit and get that bloody water off, blood and stuff off of it. Just a little bit, just a little rinse.
Let me see the other side of that thing. Let them see that side too. Yeah, okay, there we go.
And then we'll kind of dry them off a little bit.
Okay.
And now, in cooking ribs, I was told one time before by a gentleman who was a judge for a barbecue contest, cooking contest. And I was cooking ribs, and he told me that I made one mistake. And I said, what is that? He said, you didn't pull the liner, the silver lining skin off the back of your ribs.
All right, now let me see what you're talking about.
And what we're talking about is this, well, I've already done that one. This one's going to be giving me fits.
Well, that's all right. We got all that.
And what I do is, you can take maybe like a butter knife or even something like that.
You want me to hand you a little butter knife?
Yeah, if you've got a butter knife.
All right, let me get it. Show us what you're talking about.
Okay,
there.
so what we're going to do is we're going to get this skin started, hopefully. Sometimes this works and sometimes it don't. That's why there has been some talk that says there's those that some say you don't have to get this off.
Okay.
But I like to get it off because sometimes it makes them a little tougher. And this
if it's on there.
And these ribs. This set, it appears to be that the skin is not wanting to pull, but there is a skin that has a liner on it. And usually you can take a piece of paper towel and you can scratch it back and take it, and it will just pull right out, just like
I
a
think
piece.
they've already pulled part of it.
I think part of this one may have got pulled before, because this is one that I had, in getting ready to make the video, I had pulled this one, and this looks almost identical to
Yes,
it, like
it
it's
does.
already,
It does.
like it's gone
Right.
off
Well,
of it. All right.
so much for that. And hey, we're not going to lose our religion over it, are we?
No, we're not.
So this
That
gonna be
is not-
good?
That is not anything to have to worry about. It won't. That won't reflect or affect the flavor of the ribs, not one bit. So,
All right.
so what we're going to do is, you want to do this here or back over here?
Let's
now?
do it back over
Okay.
here.
All right.
Come on over here
Okay.
with it.
I'm gonna rinse my hands off. Real
All
quick,
right,
too.
rinse your hands off. Laquetta's got all of it there. Laquetta, I see you got the barbecue sauce ready too, hadn't you, girl?
I do, and we have an original and a hot.
Woo! I'll
If
take
you
the
like
original.
Spicy?
I do like spicy though,
Yeah.
so I'm, you know.
We like, because I consider it more like a spicy, not
Hey,
a hot.
y'all, Laquetta and Jeff, how many grandkids y'all got?
We have 8.
8,
And all-
7 boys and 1 little girl.
Is
So,
she spoiled?
She is.
She
She
is.
is, but she knows how to hold her own.
And you told me one time what she loves on her popcorn. Tell them about that.
She, her favorite thing is microwave popcorn to use Dixie dirt on it to flavor it with.
Oh my!
And
Whenever
she-
you take it out of the microwave and it's steaming hot, you just shake the Dixie dirt in the top of it, close the bag back up, and just shake it.
What did you just put on that meat?
I put some olive oil
Okay.
as a binder to
Okay.
help hold the dirt on. And
That
I've
sounds
had-
funny, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hold the dirt on.
Yeah, to keep the dirt on. But because, and I mean, I've had people to tell me that they've used, this is just olive oil. It won't
Okay.
affect the flavor or the taste. And then, but I've had people that tell me that they've used honey, they've used mustard, and the likes of that to give it a little bit different
All right,
taste.
so here goes the Dixie
And this
dirt.
is the Dixie dirt. Now I'm one of these also that says that you need to put a good bit, but this on the bone side, I don't necessarily put a lot on it
Right.
as much, but I do want to make sure that I kind of get those edges
Yeah.
coated pretty good, or get a little bit.
And
of
here's a close up of it. It
Yeah.
does look like dirt.
Yeah.
It does.
Ooh, it smells good.
When I
too.
first started making it, and I didn't have a name for it at all, we were cooking some hamburgers for the high school band at a football game one night, and I came out with a big old tray of hamburger patties, and I had made some Dixie dirt that afternoon, and I had sprinkled it all on those hamburger patties, and somebody asked me, they said, "What have you got on there? It looks like you dropped them in the dirt." And I said, "Well, I promise you I didn't drop them in the dirt." And I just told them, I said, "It's just a seasoning mixture that I make." Now this is the side that you really kind of want to put a good coating on.
And then you do what you say on your shirt. You rub it.
That's
Yeah.
it. You just kind of want to rub it a little bit and just and,
Doesn't have to be marinated ahead of time.
yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people talk about, "Oh, I marinate mine for 2 days," and I think, no, don't.
Yeah. Well, y'all are so busy with your catering business and this, that, and the other. Y'all hadn't got time to be doing
Well,
something for 2 days.
and the beauty of it is the good Lord has blessed us in a way that we have been able. We retired last year from our regular jobs, so we have a little bit more time now. And but
That's great.
It's and this was my idea of some things to do in retirement was was the Dixie dirt.
And I love it too, and it's great.
Yeah.
Now, I have not tried it on popcorn, but I have tried it on corn.
Yes.
Vegetables,
And the time you came to forward, we chopped up potatoes,
potatoes,
and we did a little olive oil on them, and then we...
Sprinkle.
Actually, that's okay.
Hey, Liz, I was going to say, and what we did was you cut up those potatoes, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
And they were about the size, y'all, of a potato salad.
Right.
That's
And we
right.
put olive oil on it. Then we sprinkled all the Dixie dirt on it. We cooked it on 400 to 450.
That's
And it
right.
didn't take very long either.
No,
And they
it
were
doesn't.
good. And I've eaten it on corn on the cob. It's really
And
good.
broccoli.
Oh, really? I hadn't tried that.
Yes.
broccoli.
Our grandsons, that's how our daughter gets them to eat green vegetables, is to use the Dixie dirt on the broccoli.
That sounds good. Jeff, you ready to put them on the grill?
I'm ready to put them
well,
on
come
the
on,
grill.
let's go.
Let's go. We'll go.
You've already
here.
got it on, haven't you?
Yes.
It's heating up.
So we were gonna put these on.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I love y'all shirts. Y'all sell those too?
We do,
Actually, we do have
good.
some that we sell.
They can,
All right, we got the grill all good and hot.
It's good and hot. And now, what I always do, and not saying it's the right way, but I always start mine with the bone side down.
Okay.
And then, I let them cook like that for a little while so that the bones in the middle get good and hot and it starts cooking real good.
All right.
So
Do you have a temperature? Because they're going to ask me, and I don't know.
Well,
What
your
do you-
grill probably cooks about like the one I've got at my house,
Uh-huh.
which is very similar. And this is probably close to 400 degrees.
Okay.
And we just, we're grilling. We're not smoking ribs. We're not,
We're in the long thing.
we're not into the long haul here. We'll be eating ribs shortly, cooking
All
them
right.
like this.
What you say to Laquetta? Do you give everybody a rib when they come to your house?
that's right, or a corn cob,
Or a corn cob? Okay.
or a potato.
All right.
But they
Yeah,
can also get our T-shirts, can be ordered off our website also.
Great.
Or they
Okay.
can send a request for a T-shirt.
Okay.
Right.
Because T-shirts aren't on the website. But
Okay.
it's just
But
a-
you can, in other words, they go to the website and say, I want a T-shirt.
Yeah,
That's
they can
right.
contact us,
That's right.
and that way they can give us the size. And, we've got about 3 or 4 different colors. We've got a white one, we've got a
Oh,
red
okay.
one, we've got a
Yeah.
gray
Blue
one,
one.
and a baby blue color one also.
Yeah, and does it say the same thing on the back?
It
Yes.
does.
Mhm.
All
Okay.
of them.
Yes.
Because that's cute.
Yeah.
The one y'all used to have didn't say that on the back.
No. Mm-mm.
But now it does.
Now it does,
All right,
yeah.
so how long, Jeff, do you think we're going to be cooking these?
They usually on the bone side like that, I'll cook them usually about 25 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
And that way that'll get real done on that side, and then we just sort of flip them over and then let them cook another 25, 30 minutes, because by the time they sit here and cook like this,
Right.
especially in the grills, these covered grills,
Okay.
they will be cooking the meat side,
right.
the top side will be getting hot also.
Okay.
And then we just flip them over, and then we'll let them cook that way.
And so the good thing about that is while they're doing that, we could do the potatoes inside if we had them,
That's
but we
right.
don't
Yeah.
today,
Yeah.
but we could do them.
Yeah, that's
or,
the beauty of it.
Or
So
your
you can-
broccoli or whatever, and
Right.
everything comes off about the same time.
That's right.
All
Or
right.
we do corn on the cob on the grill with the Dixie dirt also.
Oh, okay.
So you could
so
do
you
that at
shuck
the
it
same
and
time.
did do it. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Well, that sounds great. So we're just gonna sit out here a little bit and enjoy my flowers, and we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about my roses. Laquetta said her daughter-in-law has one just like it. So
Beautiful.
it does. Say hers is climbing up a brick wall.
It is. It is hanging on a trellis.
All right, y'all. So we'll be back in a little while with some done ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We've cooked them now for probably pretty close to a little over an hour or more, and you can see that the bones are starting to separate. And, you
And
see
that's
them.
how you can kind of tell.
That's
too.
how you
Boy,
can
they
tell.
look
But
good.
look at that, and then now this is also another option that some people like. When you cook with a dry rub, some people like just the rub on it. They don't like anything else. But we always like to use some of our barbecue sauce, which comes in our original.
Turn it around, let me
I was
look
gonna
at
say,
it.
we have an original flavor, which is it's a little bit of a vinegar base barbecue sauce, and then this is our hot version, which is the same sauce except we put the
More
heat.
stuff in it.
We put the heat to it.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So you're gonna pour just a little
yeah,
bit of that on
we'll
it and
pour
brush
some
it on.
sauce on it like this, and then we just kind of brush it on,
Okay.
and let that.
Oh my gosh, that looks delicious. I can't wait to take me a bite.
I guess that's kind of like the man that cooks the bacon.
Yeah, we have it. We were doing a demonstration up in Homewood, Alabama, and this gentleman came to me and he said he was the king of cooking bacon. And I asked him, what did you mean by that? And he said, for all his guests and every time he has cookouts or has people over, he cooks his bacon. He bakes it in the oven, which is not anything radical, but he always uses the Dixie dirt on his bacon.
He coats his bacon
He
in
coats
Dixie
his
dirt
bacon with Dixie dirt
Oh,
and
my
then
word.
bakes it in the oven.
and said you can't beat it. Huh?
And says all his people always want to know what his secret recipe is. So he says, I tell them it's the Dixie dirt on the bacon, and you know, we've heard all these different combinations for it. That's for sure, and it's always
And
amazing.
so y'all tried it when you got home and loved it too?
Oh yeah, it's good.
Well, I have
It
not
is-
tried that, so
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried the broccoli either.
Yeah,
But so I'll try
and
that.
if you'll just close your lid for just a few minutes,
Yeah.
and then let that barbecue sauce kind of cook a little bit,
Okay.
and then we're gonna take them up, and then we're gonna go inside and cut them up, and we're gonna enjoy some ribs.
That sounds great. Let's go, y'all. Jeff, get those things up. Let's go cut them up.
Okay, we've let that sauce sort of cook on them a little bit.
Yes. God, they look great.
Now we're gonna.
All right, let me turn off my gas. Turn that thing off for me. Cooking with gas.
Yeah, we cooking with gas.
All right, let's go in. We've got us our table set right here with some plates that y'all know we got to have napkins because I'm telling you. All right. Jeff, how you gonna do this?
And you tell me. We're gonna, like I said, we'll.
We're gonna cut them. If you got cutting your, all right, so you're cutting down between each bone, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. We're gonna cut them through the bone like that,
All right.
or not necessarily through the bone,
Look
but
at
in
that, all
between
that
the
meat
bone.
on there, y'all. Look at that.
And it seems to be real tender today.
Yes, they do.
Well, tell them a little bit about Boston butts while we're doing this.
Well,
Because
I
some of my
originally formulated Dixie dirt for cooking Boston butts for our, when our son
scoot that way a little bit.
when our son was in Auburn, and we would cook them and send them up for tailgating, and it was just to make them a little bit special, and so we developed it just experimenting in the kitchen with
Okay.
different amounts.
But the Boston butt
But then
is
the
a
Boston
piece
butt-
of meat. Tell them what it
the
actually
Boston
is.
butt is probably one of the most economical cuts of pork that goes a long way. It will feed a bunch of folks, and they're usually not they're not very expensive.
And that's
But
the
it's
kind you can cut up, put between two buns, barbecue
you
sandwiches.
can chop it, you can slice it, you can pull it, and
You can actually cook it in the oven if
And-
you don't have a
yeah,
Grill.
and the beauty of it is, if you don't have a grill, it cooks in the oven. You just wrap it up. You just do it
Put
just
your
like we
Dixie
did.
dirt on it, put
We
it in the oven,
olive oil on it, coat it with the Dixie dirt,
and you cook
then
it slower.
And you just set your oven probably on around 400, and put it in your oven and let it cook. Now, depending on the size of it, if it's
Right.
probably about 7 pounds or so, you're gonna probably cook it maybe 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay, on 400.
On 400. And then now, one of the tricks that we do is we'll cover it with tinfoil and turn the oven off.
Yes.
And just let the meat rest in the oven. And just let it,
And the juices go back in.
let the juices go back in, and you let it rest for about 45 minutes or so. And then usually whenever you take it out, you can take the foil off. Usually that bone that's in it, you can grab it by that round part of the bone, and it should just pull right out.
For the dog to know.
For the dog to know. The dog
Jeff
gets
used to
a-
save his
Yeah.
Boston butt bones for
Right.
me.
Yes, and I used to save them from Walt too when he had.
I know it.
But yeah.
All right, so we're going to
but
get
see, we're
these
gonna
cut
slice
up, y'all.
these.
And you can cook these ribs in the oven, too. You just don't cook them as long.
No.
But wrap them good, put your Dixie dirt on it. You do not have to have a grill to use Dixie dirt. That is
No.
for sure.
Nope.
All right, well, we're fixed to eat, y'all. Jeff, you're putting those on mighty pretty.
Well, pretty matters.
Yeah, they say presentation, don't they?
I've seen terrible
what
food
year-
presented pretty, but it don't help it none a lot of times. But
That looks really good, and y'all can understand how this would be so good for your family, and the children would love it.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, it's ready, and we're gonna gnaw these rib bones.
Oh.
We're sitting close together so y'all
Yeah.
can watch us eat.
Yeah, there you go. So y'all can watch us eat.
Yes. And I think we could get just a little closer. How about that? Y'all want to see us,
Oh.
all the goodie on it? All right.
All right.
And Lord, we do thank you for all these good things that you
Yes.
put here on earth for us to eat.
Amen.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
That's right.
I think I'll go first.
All right.
You
You
go
go
right
first.
I'll take 2. And I want the regular barbecue sauce.
Okay.
I may taste the original.
Right. The original. Mm-hmm.
All right. And so what I'm going to do, y'all, is I am going to just gently, easy does it, pour some on that one. And on this one, just a little bit. Anybody else want that one?
I do.
I'm gonna try a little bit of the hot.
All right. Well, you eat the hot.
Well, I may
That's
not because I
fine.
have.
And this is what you do, y'all. You rub it around in your plate. And then you hold that rib with the top side up. And then you...
And if you get it on you, that means you're really enjoying it then. But you know, thing up, like I say, you back.
Talking about those 8 grandchildren, they love gnawing these bones.
The only time that I can say that I shouldn't have cooked ribs, one time we had a after rehearsal party, and those girls were all in pretty dresses and all that, and they were embarrassed to gnaw that bone of that rib. And I thought, y'all, they were trying to eat it with a fork.
Worried about getting messed up.
And it's kind of hard to eat a rib with a fork.
Mm-hmm.
You just get,
They were trying though.
But man, those are good.
They're
They are
delicious.
good.
And y'all, so, whoops. I'm going to show you this bone when I get through. There's supposed to be nothing on it when you finish.
That's the way to enjoy one.
Let me show you. I'm going to show you the end of it anyway. Now, when y'all eat your ribs, the bone should look like that on both sides. See how tender they are? It comes right off the bone when you cook it,
It
like
really
this.
does. And we don't know what it is in Dixie dirt, but it actually has a tenderizing agent in it
A tenderizing effect on the meats.
on
We
the
just-
meat. Yeah.
And that was not
We don't-
something we started out.
It's all natural stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
just
yeah.
something in it makes that do that.
Yeah,
Right.
it makes it tender.
All right.
And also, when you warm them up the next day, they'll be just as good as the day you cooked them.
Which is
Doesn't
that
have
way
that-
with the other.
It
They
does-
don't have an aftertaste.
Doesn't have
That's
that
right.
leftover meat taste to them.
That's great. So y'all, here's what I say. Get you some Dixie dirt. Get you a slab of ribs, or get you a Boston butt, or some popcorn, or broccoli, or potatoes, whatever, and sprinkle it all over it. And we're going to finish eating now our stuff. And so y'all have a great day.
DixieDirtRub.com.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks,
Uh-huh.
Laquetta. Bye-bye, y'all.